for reciting the three fundamental parts to enlightenment. Okay, so before we start the new subject, I will briefly explain what we learned in the last class. Right now we are studying about how to rely on guru, masters or guide. It is exactly same. For example, when you want to go to somewhere, like you want to go from here to Bodh Gaya, the thing about Bodh Gaya is Buddha land. If you want to go there, first you must need to collect some, a lot of information about how to go to India and how to reach to Bodh Gaya. If you have someone who totally know, who fully know how to reach to Bodh Gaya, then you have a lot of advantages. You can have a lot of beneficials. Even though you meet someone, the person has some knowledge, some idea about how to reach to Bodh Gaya. If you just trust the person, then you're going to lose, something. You're going to have a lot of disadvantages. So the guru, exactly same as a guide. So we call guide or guru and master. The guru traditionally is Sanskrit words. Guru, the meaning is heavier, heavy. Heavy means the guru already must have a lot of knowledge about Buddha Dharma. The guru must have a lot of experience about Buddha Dharma. That means guru means the heavy, who have a lot of knowledge. Guru. And also master. Master not necessarily be practitioner. The people who have the right knowledge of Buddha Dharma, who are master in Buddha Dharma, then we can call he or she master, not still guru. And also we must differentiate between master and guru. And also guru not necessarily be the ordained, not necessarily be a kind of bhikshu or bhikshuni. Very ordinary lay person can be guru, can be master, not necessarily monks and nuns. And also, and this day, we have been meeting many Rinpoche. The Rinpoche is Tibetan language. The Sanskrit is the Redna. Rinpoche or Redna. Redna is very precious gem, precious stone. So that's why, historically, in India, I think there was very rare precious stone, which is very rare, which is very expensive, very rare. This means a master is very rare. The experienced master is very rare, like a Redna. Redna is like a Rinpoche. Also, you should not mix Rinpoche and reincarnation, because most of you always have been meeting Tibetan monks and Rinpoche and Guru, so. Rinpoche can be reincarnation, cannot be. The Rinpoche means the person who was rich in Buddha Dharma, who has really have a lot of experience about Buddha Dharma. Then you can call he or she is a kind of Rinpoche, not necessarily reincarnation. So also someone is a reincarnation, But reincarnation not necessarily be a Rinpoche. It doesn't have the meaning of Rinpoche. For example, someone is the reincarnation of the previous High Lama. They just born, it's been for a few years. The person, the child doesn't have any experience about Buddha Dharma. They doesn't have any knowledge about Buddha Dharma. Still, you can call the person is a reincarnation, but it doesn't have the meaning of Rinpoche because they are not really rich in Buddha Dharma. They don't have a lot of experience about Buddha Dharmas. Then, many times, many people raise the question. Okay, someone has someone is the reincarnation of the previous very famous, previous, very practitioner reincarnation. But this life, the child doesn't remember anything about the previous experience. They doesn't remember all the knowledge which they have in the previous life. What happened? There's been 4 means look like they have a knowledge, but the knowledge don't put into practice. That's why they don't remember all the things which they learned in the previous life. So, we should not mix master and guru, should not mix Rinpoche and reincarnation. Someone is Rinpoche, not reincarnation. Someone is reincarnation, not a Rinpoche. Someone is both, someone is not of them. Okay. So the guru is like guide. How to achieve, there must be gurus like a guide how to achieve Buddhahood, how to achieve nirvana, how to overcome suffering, how to overcome the negative emotion. If they are able to teach how to overcome negative emotion, how to achieve Buddhahood, then he or she is like a master or maybe a guru. So in the first we have 4 headings. Number 1, the advantages of relying on a spiritual guide. Right, page number 218. So that's been, if you rely on a spiritual guide, what are the advantages will be? The second one, the disadvantages of not relying on a spiritual guide. It's exactly the same. If you want to go to Bodh Gaya, you need a guide. Without having a guide, if you try to go to India, you never going to reach India, you never going to reach in Bodh Gaya. It's a disadvantages. Even though you have a guide, you met a guide in Singapore, they say, okay, I will go with you, and then you have an agreement with the guide. If you not follow with the guide in India, so the guide will leave you in the halfway. Right? This means it is like a this is kind of disadvantages of not relying on a spiritual guide or of letting your devotion lapse. The third one, devoting yourself through thought, devoting yourself through deeds. So after you find the right guru, then you have to rely on the guru. How you can rely on? How you can have a kind of active with the master? That's mean you have a rely on through thoughts. That's mean through your mind, through your deeds. So first have 4 headings. The next, what are the advantages of relying on a spiritual guide? It has 8. Right? Everybody, I hope remember. The first one, you will come closer to the Buddhahood. If you rely on a master, you will closer to Buddhahood. he says are true. How, if I rely on a master, how I will be closer to Buddhahood. He said true. You will be closer to Buddhahood, through the instruction of, through practice of the instruction, which is the Guru taught you. Second, you will closer to Buddhahood through, making offering to the Guru. The first one is very important. Even though you meet the right Guru, the right Guru, the perfect Guru give you the perfect instruction. If you not put in practice, then you're not going to be closer to Buddhahood. The first one is very important. If the Guru said, okay, today you must done 100 prostration, 100 times prostration, you must done. There's a reason. And sometimes if the Guru says, okay, today you shouldn't eat anything, you should not anything. You should not eat anything. There's a reason. That means you totally rely on the master, you totally accept whatever the master says. Then you think, oh, I don't think I can accept, everything what the Guru said. Maybe something the Guru, you have a doubt, the Guru will cheat me. That means you don't have a fully conviction about your own Guru. So think about, Telopa, Naropa. Telopa was searching a teacher, it's Naropa. Telopa is searching a teacher, which is Naropa. And one day, I think he met Telopa. So, that moment he saw Naropa was very modern being. He haven't seen any kind of good qualities. And then Naropa asked so many things. Telopa asked to Naropa, you must done this, that. He did everything. But finally he received the instruction. Also, think about the history of Milarepa. So before he received teaching, instruction about practice from Marpa asked him to do so many things. He says, you must build this palace, that palace, that palace. That means Marpa doesn't need a lot of many palaces. Marpa really want to purify the negative karma of Milarepa. So in the future, when you meet the right Guru, then you must, follow what the Guru says without having doubt. So that means, you will come closer to Buddhahood by practicing the instructions he taught you. If the Guru is the right Guru, the Guru never going to cheat you, never going to, teach you the wrong thing. That reason, you must follow what the Guru said. And second, making offering to Guru, also, closer, you become closer to Buddhahood. So that's the reason I mentioned before you, in order to have a good practice, in order to have a good progress of your practice, you really need to accumulate merit, good karma. The best and the easy way to accumulate karma is the making offering to your Guru. Then you think, why not? It's okay. I don't want to offer food and flower things to Guru. I want to offer this to Buddha. You think Buddhas are more important than the Guru. That's means you have some misunderstanding or wrong concept about Guru and Buddha. Without Guru, there won't be any Buddha. So compared with the Buddhas and the Guru, if you need to choose one of them, you must choose Guru than the Buddhas. Because if you choose Buddha, we don't have an ability to see Buddha. We don't have an ability to hear, listen, teaching Buddha. Because we have not enough merit and not enough karma. So you must choose Guru rather than the Buddhas. For example, one day, Milarepa was with a Marpa. And Marpa was doing a lot of visualization of Heruka. And suddenly Heruka appeared in the sky. And Marpa asked, okay, Milarepa, today Heruka is appearing in the sky. Whom you going to do prostration? Me and Herukas. Then Marpa thought, I must do prostration to Heruka because I always can see Marpa. I always can do the prostration to Marpa. So Heruka is the one time. So he did the prostration to Heruka rather than the Milarepa. The Milarepa said, is very unauspicious. Without Guru, there's no Heruka. Without Guru, there's no deities. So since today, everybody must think, in order to have a good practice, in order to become serious practitioner, I must, rely on a Guru. If there's a time which I must choose Guru and Buddha, I must choose. I must, have choice, right? Choose Guru than the Buddhas. Because as an ordinary person, I don't have an ability to see Buddhas. I don't have an ability to receiving teaching from Buddha. At this moment, the Guru is more important than the Buddhas. So you must choose, Guru than the Buddha. Also, you should think that my Guru is not separate than the Buddhas. My Guru is Buddha. Buddha is my Guru. You just look oneness between Buddha's Gurus. Then, a sense of this understanding, then if you are offering something to your Guru, that means you are also offering things to the Buddhas. Because Guru is kind of representative of Buddhas. So as told before, all the Buddha has only one wishing for us, which is wish to become a Buddha, wish to overcome from suffering. So when you offering something to your Guru, then all the Buddhas were really pleased about your offering. That reason, when you're offering something to your Guru, also you are, becoming closer to Buddhahood. The third one, it please the victorious one, right? So it is second, right? Second, yeah. Second, advantage. It please the victorious one. So it has two different ways you can think. So the most important reason one. So Buddha wish you to overcome from suffering. Buddha always wish you to become a Buddha or have becoming Buddha or achieving Nirvana. Once you rely on a master, all the Buddha was so pleased to you. Oh, now the child is something doing good thing. All the Buddha were very pleased. So also you should not think, when you say, okay, all Buddha was pleased about relying on master, you should not think sometimes Buddha get very upset, sometimes Buddha was very happy. Buddha never ever get upset, but they have always ever, pleased for your good actions. So we have this is number second. Third one, you will not be disturbed by demons or bad companies. And I mentioned you, disturbed by demons refer to the inner, the negative emotions. Because if you properly rely on a Guru, you just stay with the Guru. Because you are practicing the instruction which is the Guru give you. When you practice the instruction, that means you are reducing, you are minimizing the negative thoughts. The more negative thoughts minimize, then the more you have friends. You never have enemies. So first, in order to reduce the external enemies, first you reduce the inner enemies. Especially you must reduce the anger. If you have not any anger and hatred, you never have any enemies. So if you after relying on a Guru, then you're not going to be disturbed by demons or bad company. Then number 4, you will automatically put a stop to all delusion and misdeeds. Yes, so after you rely on master, the master give you the right instruction, you also put into practice, then you not going to have a lot of delusion, because you're going to understand the right nature. We have a lot of delusion because we don't know the right, right nature. For example, somebody height. If the person is very famous, very rich, somebody has a very ordinary thing in the hand, look like a crystal. He has a very ordinary crystal. Then we're going to assume, the thing must be diamond, because it belongs to the rich person, very famous person. Because this, then finally we should, I should have this kind of diamonds. That moment we have a lot of delusion about the reality. The person who has a very ordinary crystal, it is not diamond. We assume, we think it's a diamond because it belongs to the rich family, it belongs to the rich person. It is very special. For example, one of the richest person in Singapore, if the person has a very ordinary watch, it costs only $2 or $3, but you never think that the watch costs $2. You assume it very expensive. But if he give you the watch to you, you are so happy because you think it's very expensive, very good. Because we have a delusion. Because you don't know the reality of the simple watch. Then we have a delusion. After delusion, then we have attachment, ignorance, hatred, everything arising based on delusion. If we have a delusion, then we have a lot of misdeeds. You can see at the last week, I watched a documentary about in the China there's a place Zongdong something. It's a very popular place for the seafood. Dongdong or something. Gongdong. Yeah, Gongdong. One person selling the crab. The cash, they sell as a wholesale. Right? Wholesale. Every day, he sells more than 5,000 crab. More than 5,000 every day. He doesn't have any sense of mercy, sense of guilty, sense of kind of sadness about selling and killing, because he has a very strong delusion about money. He said, I made a lot of money. If you have a very strong delusion about money, you don't care anything. You don't care about the good conduct or bad conduct. You really don't care about life. You just care only money. If you have a very delusion about the beautiful things, then you really don't get anything. You're just focusing on the beautiful things. So the delusion is the source of the suffering, source of the problems. When you have a delusion, then you always have a misdeeds. So if you are able to follow the right instruction of Guru, then you have no delusion, you're not going to have a misdeeds. Everything is stopped automatically after follow the instruction of gurus. The next one, your insights and realization into the levels and the path will increase. So there's a two reason. Generally, in the Buddhist society, we always talk about the aura, right? Aura. So because Buddha has a light aura or aura. This is not the same. It's not always kind of the meaning is not kind of light. If you stay close to the holy people, practitioner people, you always feel very pleasant, feel very happy. Aura. And also, when you stay with a holy person, automatically you always have a calm mind, always have a positive thoughts. That means increase the positive thoughts, increase the insight and realization. Just stay close to the holy being, the practitioner being. Increase. And also in the next chapter is mentioned about, even though you put a lot of effort for your practice, you put a lot of effort, morning, evening, afternoon, whole day you are practice. You have a very little progress. Then, one day before you start practice, if you cultivate the faith towards your guru, then practice as usual, then you can see a big difference. Each time before you start your practice, any kind of practice, in practice of compassion, practice of tolerance, practice of bodhicitta, whatever, should not forget, practice of Guru Yoga. First Guru Yoga, you just cultivate the faith of your gurus, maybe few minutes, then you start to practice as usual. Then you have a lot of progress. Also because according to Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we said the Guru Yoga is the heart of the path, heart of the path. So the Guru Yoga is very important. Let's increase the realization into the levels and the paths will increase. The next one, you will not be deprived of victorious, virtuous spiritual guide in all your future rebirth. So this I mentioned you before. Why the reason? Because after you receive a teaching from master, the master has just one wishing and just one prayer. Also the disciple has one wishing and one prayer. After receive teaching from Guru, the Guru always I wish in the future, all the time until my disciple achieve Buddhahood, I wish to give a teaching to my disciple until they achieve Buddhahood. Also, when somebody accept you as a disciple of the Guru, that's when the Guru accept. Guru takes this big responsibility. Since today, I'm the Guru of this disciple. I wish I will bring the Guru from samsara to nirvana. They always have a just wishing, not always wish to give a teaching. But from the disciple side, after you receive teaching, end of the teaching, you always wish to meet the Guru, all the time until I achieve Buddhahood or nirvana. So that means once you rely on the right Guru, in the future lifetime you are not need to worry about about gurus. He or she will meet in the future. One. The second reason, even though someone is not a Guru, not a Buddha, but you can think, the master is real Buddha. It doesn't matter he or she is a Buddha or not. Once you apply the love on the master, you must think, yes, my Guru is a Buddha. And the Guru wasn't Buddha, he is not a Buddha, he's a very ordinary person. So how he going to meet you in the next life? That's the next life, you're going to meet a Guru, which is not the same person, you're going to meet a Guru. The Guru must be manifestation of the Buddha. So that's means you don't need to worry about your future Guru once you rely on the Guru in the right way. The next one, you will not fall into the lower realms. Yes, this is right, because after you practice the instruction, it decreases the illusion. The illusion is going to decrease, the misdeed also decrease. The misdeed also decrease, then you're not going to be born in the lower realm. Another advantage, you will effortlessly achieve all short and long-term aims. So what is your short-term aim, and what is your long-term aims? Anybody has any idea? So Tibetan use of negap, the short-term, tabu the long-term, final aims or short-term aims. So what is your short-term aims? No problem with lower realm? Yeah. Yes, it's same. Usually the short-term aim is reborn in other higher realms. Especially reborn in a human realm. This is the short-term. Because without having human life, we're not going to have a good practice. So the short-term aim is reborn in the higher realm, human and the gods. The long term is the nirvana, either nirvana or buddhahood. So as a Buddhist, we have only two aims, the short term and the long term. The short term, I wish to reborn in the human life or higher realm or all the time, because I want to practice Buddha Dharma. In order to practice Buddha Dharma, we need to born in the human life. The human life is very important than the form and formless realm. Because the form and formless realms doesn't have any lot of suffering. Then it's so difficult to have a practice, so difficult to practice compassion, because they don't have a experience of suffering. They don't have an experience about physical suffering and mental suffering. Then that's why they don't have any kind of good practice. That's why all the Bodhisattvas always pray to born in human life. Always pray to born in the southern part, in the southern continent, rather than the north and east and west. So among the four continents, southern continent is the best place for the practice. Because you can see everything around you. You can see, physical suffering, you can see the mental suffering, you can see the lot of suffering around you. So that's why for you very easy to cultivate great compassion. Without cultivation, great compassion, you cannot cultivate bodhicitta. Without cultivate bodhicitta, you cannot have never ever going to achieve Buddhahood. So that's why great compassion is the root of the bodhicitta. The bodhicitta is one of the most important factors for achieving Buddhahood. So in order to cultivate great compassion, you must have an experience of suffering. For example, the rich family, if you're talking about suffering of thirsty, suffering of hungry, they're never going to understand what you're talking about, because they don't have experience of thirsty, hungry, cold, feeling cold. This how it look like. So this reason, you're never going to, you will effortlessly achieve all short and long-term aims. Next, we're going to learn about the disadvantages of not relying on a spiritual guide. So this is the start today. The subject. So what are the disadvantages of not relying on spiritual guide? It has how many disadvantages mentioned? It mentioned 8. Okay. So now we know the advantages of relying on our guru. So what are the disadvantages of not relying on our guru? It's what are they? It is opposite of the 8 which is mentioned above. It's very easy. The next one, okay. There are 8 disadvantages to letting you devotion lapse. After you rely on someone as your guru, after you accepted someone as your guru, then due to some reason, if you say, okay, since today he or she is not my guru, that's when you left and letting the devotion towards your guru. So please, everybody, is so important. Okay. So before you accept anyone as your guru, you must do some study about the person. You must get you must get a lot of information about the person. And finally, if you think, yeah, this is the right person, which is I'm going to accept my guru, then okay, you accept, the person is your guru. After that, you never ever think, oh, I'm not going to accept the person. I'm not going to accept the person anymore, my guru. Then you totally collect the devotion towards your guru. It's very dangerous. It's very, very serious matters. So it mentioned how many disadvantages? Is it mentioned 8? Another 8, right? Letting your devotion lapse. It says 8. And number 1, if you disparage your guru, you insult all the victorious one. Okay? So after you accept someone your guru, if you have a lot of criticism, if you have a lot of kind of negative thoughts to your guru, if you insult your guru, at the same time you insult all the Buddhas. Number 1. Number 2, when you develop angry thoughts towards your guru, you destroy your root merit and will be reborn in the hell for the same number of eons as the moment of your anger. Okay? Number 1, if you insult your guru, then you insult all the Buddhas. Number 2, when you develop angry thoughts towards your guru, it destroys your root merit and will be reborn in the hell for the same number of eons as the moment of anger. If you have a 2 moments of anger, you're going to be reborn in the hell 2 eons. It's very heavy. Very scary, right? Then number 3, you will not achieve the supreme state despite your reliance on the tantra. Rely on tantra. Even though you are practicing tantrayana paths, if you have a kind of negative thoughts, your guru, you never ever going to achieve the supreme state. Doesn't matter, you realize or you are practicing tantrayana. Number 3. The number 4, thought you seek the benefit of the tantra, your practice will achieve only the hells and the And the hell and light? Sand, yeah. Yeah, light. I was doing that one, yeah. And then number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5. Fifth, you will not develop a fresh quality you have not already, you will not develop fresh quality you have not already developed, and through you will degenerate. So that means you cannot have fresh good qualities. Also, which you have a quality is going to decrease. 5. Number 6. In this life, you will suffer undesirable illness and so on. And number 7, you will wander, what is? Endlessly in the lower realms in your next life. Number 8, you will be deprived of the spiritual guides in all future life. So these are the disadvantages of not relying on a guru. These are the disadvantages of letting, right? Letting devotion lapse, yeah. So it's very, very scary. Now we go one by one. So if you despise your guru, you insult all the victorious one. Because look at the guru is the physical embodiment of all the Buddhas and has come in order to subdue you. In a sense, he is a delegate. So if you despise him, you criticize all Buddhas. If you must regard just one Buddha with never reverence, right? Reverence what will happen when you insult all the Buddhas. That's why it's mentioned 2 reasons. Because 1, the Guru is physical embodiment of all the Buddhas. Because we don't have an ability to see those Supreme Nirmakaya, Dharmakaya, and so on. So that means the Buddha, the Guru is manifestation of all the Buddhas. If you insult, if you have a disrespect to your Guru, it will insult all the Buddhas. Because the Buddha is the representative, the Guru is the representative of all the Buddhas. It's look like, for example, when we have a kind of representative of other nation, if we have a disrespect to the representative of the other nation, then we also, insult all the people, the countries. For example, when you send delegation to India, the Indian people have a disrespect to the Singapore delegation. That means the Indian people also insult all the Singaporeans, because the person is the representative of Singapore, all Singaporeans. That means the Guru is the representative of all the Buddhas. And also, the Guru, has come as a Guru. What reason? In order to subdue you, in order to subdue your emotions, in order to subdue your ignorance. So that's the reason, if you have a disrespect your Guru, also you're going to insult the victorious one. Also, somebody has a kind of disrespect to your Guru, even though you make a lot of offering to all the Buddhas, and all the Buddha never please over your offering, because you have a disrespect to your Guru. Also, then I gave you example, a mother has a one child, and you have you don't have a good relation or good care with the child, even though if you bring some gift to the mother, and the mother never please about your gift, because you have a not good connection with the child, you don't really good care of the child. You have a kind of lot of dispraise, you have a lot of kind of insult for the child. The mother never happy about your gift. Even though on the opposite, you really care the child, you bring some small gift to the child, if you have a lot of kind of praise to the child, the mother automatically very happy. Same, if you have a kind of pure faith towards your guru, and all the Buddha was very pleased. If you offer very little to your guru with a very pure motivation, all the Buddhas are very pleased about your offering. And the opposite, you don't have a pure faith, you have a dispraise to your guru. Even though you make a lot of offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas or whatever, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are never pleased about your offering. They are never going to accept your offering because you have a dispraise, you have a disrespect to your gurus. The guru is the representative of the Buddhas. That's the reason the insult was the victorious one. So this is mentioned a lot of story. It's how we must rely on the guru and how we must have a good kind of auspicious connection with the gurus. So this is, I think, very difficult to understand. The second one. Just then. Also is mentioned here. There was a very famous Lamrim master. His name was Geshe Lobsang. So he mentioned here. So I will tell you the very short story about Tsongkapa. Actually, his name is Geshe Lobsang. So he was born in Zanskar, where I was born. So when he was young, his mother has a lot of illness. So he fully took care of his mother. And finally his mother passed away. Also he completely did everything until cremation, everything finished. Then he became a monk and in the local monastery. And finally he went to Tibet. Then finally he joined the Tapo monasteries. And that moment, he received a lot of Lamrim's teaching from other master. So then he tried to cultivate the practice. So he found, he doesn't have any progress when he do the Guru Yoga practice. He doesn't have any progress because when he visualized the gurus in the merit field, he visualized all the famous masters, all the famous teachers. He never visualized the disrobed nun who taught the alphabet. Because when he was young, there was a disrobed nun. She taught the alphabet. So that means she was the first guru of the Tsongkapa village. So he never visualized the disrobed monk in the merit field. Due to that reason, he didn't have any progress about his practice. Then he asked his master, what happened? I tried, I put a lot of effort. I never have any progress about my Guru Yoga practice. Then the master said, you must be missing very important Guru in the merit field. He's saying, he didn't remember. Finally he remembered, oh, yes, the disrobed nun must be my root Guru. So then he visualized the disrobed nun in the merit field. Since then, he got a lot of progress in practice. So Guru is not necessarily the people who teach you Dharma, or the people who teach you the kind of the alphabet, also another education, another kind of Dharma education who give you. It's not necessarily kind of Guru is not necessarily monks and nuns. He mentioned here, also, the Buddha Shakyamuni lifetime, he was one of his last lifetime. He was looking kind of teaching from any masters. So finally, he met a master who are ready to give a teaching. The master said, in order to receive teaching from me, you must put, you must lit, handed light on your body. You must lit a light, like a children light. Just he said, you must lit a handed light on your body. Then he was ready to accept, his advice. Then he put kind of the handed lights on the body. So look at, even though then he said, so we have to give our life even in order to receive one sentence of teaching. Because as a serious practitioner, teaching is most important than other anything. For example, the serious patient, as a very serious patient, the medicine is one of the most important things than the other objects, right? At that moment, we really want to recover from the illness. The medicine is the only one which is able to recover the illness. So for us, we are not just seeking kind of happiness on this life. We are not just seeking looking or wish to achieve happiness on the next life. We really wish to achieve the Buddhahood and Nirvana. In order to achieve Nirvana and Buddhahood, the Dharma is very, very, very important. The Dharma we are going to receive only from Guru. Only from Guru. We wish to receive teaching from Buddhas, but we don't have enough karma. So that's why Guru is very important. Very, very important. And also we should think your own Guru, one Guru, two Gurus, whatever. You should think all the Gurus are reincarnation, embodiment of all Buddhas. When you have a dispatch of your Guru, then you have a dispatch to all the Buddhas. That's why after you accept someone as your Guru, whatever they teach you, you must follow, you must put in practice. Then number 7 is talking about you will not achieve the supreme state despite your reliance on the Tantra. And also according to the history, so we have two types of practice of Sutrayana and practice of Tantrayana. And also we believe among the two practices, the Tantrayana practice is more easy and quicker way to achieve Buddhahood. That means the person can think, I don't care my Guru, because I'm practicing Tantrayana, I'm going to achieve Buddhahood very quick way. So that's then if you have a dispatch about your Guru, you're not going to achieve the supreme state despite you relies on the Tantrayana. Yes, historically, yes, and also in a practical both, the Tantrayana practice is more quicker way to achieve Buddhahood than the Sutrayana path. But without having the Sutrayana path, without having Sutrayana practice, you are going to have the right practice of Tantrayana. the Sutrayana practice, the Sutrayana path is the foundation of Tantrayana. And also many people think, I'm a Tantrayana practitioner, I don't think I have to take all the vows, I don't think I have to maintain all the vows. Many people said, Tantrayana is very exception teaching. It's very, misunderstanding about Tantrayana practice. So I mentioned many times, Sutrayana practice teach you how to reduce, how to subdue all the negative in the gross level of negative emotions. It teach you how to eliminate the gross level of ignorance, emotions, and negative thoughts. In the Sutrayana teaching, never ever mention how to eliminate the subtle energy of suffering. The root of the subtle energy, subtle energy of the negative emotions. So it's look like the Tantrayana practice. So minimize the negative thoughts is kind of purifying the negative thoughts. But it never teach you how to, killing the root of the negative afflictions. So relies on the Tantrayana practice. For us, very easy to reduce all the negative emotions, as well as very easy to eliminate the root of the afflicted emotions. So that's why it's very easy and very quicker way compared with the Tantrayana practice. If you're not able to follow, the practice in the correct way, it's also very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And also you should not think, Tantrayana practice is just only reciting the tantra, doing chanting, visualization, mantra, tantra, not only that. The reciting tantra, the mantra, doing the ritual, everything is part of the Tantrayana practice, is not the main practice. That's why Buddha said in the Tantrayana Sutra, said, when you feel tired with the practice of path, then relax and recite the tantra, mantra. When you feel relaxed, then you must start meditation. So reciting mantra is not the important part. It's just kind of the not important. Is what is the important opposite? Important opposite. Partial is a part. Partial. Man and opposite is
Common.
Common.
Yeah.
This is not general.
It's general.
It's
Common.
Yeah, general. So this this means the visualization of the deities in the ritual, the reciting mantra is it's a part of the Tantrayana, not the main practice. Okay, so also we are very excited about practicing Tantrayana, which is good. So that's why the three fundamental part of the text mentioned the renunciation, bodhicitta, understanding emptiness is the foundation of the Sutrayana path and Tantrayana path. Special, the bodhicitta in the understanding of emptiness is the very important foundation for the Tantrayana path. Without having three of them, your practice is never going to be practice of Tantrayana. So that's why you will not achieve the supreme step despite your reliance on the Tantrayana. Here is one, I think, stanza. A sentient being may have committed the great sins such as the heinous crimes. So do you remember how many heinous crimes? 5, right? 5. What are they? These are one of the heavy, crime or very heavy sins. What are they? killing arha, right? Killing arha, killing parents, father and mother. Also, making disharmony in the Sangha members. Yeah, concentration. First one is the killing the arha, killing father and mother, and making disharmony in the Sangha member. Yeah, hurting the Buddha body. 5, right? These are the 5. It's very, the heavy kind of sins. So, look at his mention here. Even though somebody has this kind of, heinous crime, but they can still succeed in the supreme vehicle, the great portion of the Vajrayana. So, if you know how to practice the Tantrayana, it doesn't matter how much you have, sins, how many you have a negative karma. Even though you can achieve the supreme vehicle, through supreme vehicle, you can achieve the buddhahood. Great sins such as the inventions crime, but he can, still success in the supreme vehicle, the great portion of Vajrayana. The next, but someone who displays his master for his very heart may practice but will not success. Yes, the Vajrayana practice is a very quicker way to achieve the supreme state. But if you have some kind of wrong practice, then it leads you in the hell, not in the supreme state. Special, if you have a kind of dispraise of your guru, is not going to achieve the supreme state through practice of the Vajrayana vehicle, supreme vehicle. The next one, though you seek the benefit of Tantra, your practice will achieve only the health and the life, right? It's life?
We like to say that.
I don't know the meaning. Equivalence. Equivalence, okay. So there's been also, so when I met a Vietnamese monk in Hanoi, so we were talking about the practice of the dhyana. Exactly, he mentioned to me the Tantrayana practice is the source which is to have two sides. Two sides, right? Sword.
No.
Yeah. It's a two side. That you can cut this side, you can cut this side too. It's a two face. When you look at it, it's a two face. If you know how to use the knife, you can cut very easily everything. It's so strong, it's very sharp. If you don't know how to use it, if you try to cut, that is cut yourself here. It has a face. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous if you don't know how to practice. If you know how to practice, it's a very easy way and quicker way to how achieve Buddhahood. That's why most of the people who achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime, most of them practice the Tantrayana path. For example, Milarepa, and also in the Ginu tradition we have a few masters who achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime. So anybody know why Tantrayana practice is very quicker way to achieve Buddhahood? Why? The reason. You should not think that the mantra is very special. It has a lot of power. Yes, mantra has a lot of power. It does not manage it. Anybody have any idea why it is very quicker and very easy way? Huh? Guru. Yeah, Guru. So not only that Guru, if Sudarayana practice, the right Guru is very important. Without having right Guru, the Sudarayana path never, through Sudarayana practice, you never ever achieve the Buddhahood. Look at, think about, within one lifetime. Right now we have a lot of thoughts, lot of emotions, right? A lot of minds, lot of negative thoughts and so many things going in our minds. Thoughts. It looks like a boiling water in the kettle. A lot of thoughts. Then when you sleep, during the sleep time, we have a thoughts, but we don't have a lot of thoughts, which is we have during the day. Where has gone all the thoughts when we sleep? Where has gone all the thoughts? Because all the thoughts become kind of invisible, or all the thoughts dissolve into the kind of the kind of subtle mind. Everything is dissolved. Yes, even though when we sleep, we have a dreaming about something, we have a dream something, then we have still, the consciousness. The next, the more subtle, when you totally become unconscious, somebody, knock you, through some kind of injection, you become like a dead. That means all the gross minds, all the dream minds, everything has gone somewhere. It's gone where? Everything dissolved into the subtlest mind. We think a person is dead or is something, but still the subtle consciousness is there. As an ordinary person, we are not able to utilize, we are not able to use the subtle mind, because that moment we don't have our five senses, we don't have any anger and desire at all. We have only the subtle mind. We don't have an ability to use the subtle mind. The Tantrayana path, the Tantrayana teaching teach us first how to recognize the subtle minds. How to recognize. Second, it teach us how to utilize the subtle minds. Number third, it teach us how the subtle mind can aware the emptiness. If you are able to utilize the subtle mind, if you are able to utilize the subtle mind as a awareness of emptiness, that's for you, not, the nirvana is not far for you. You are very close to nirvana. That's why the subtle mind is within us, but we're not able to use it. For example, we're talking about gross level of death, the subtle level of death. Someone totally become unconscious. The person is beyond the gross level of death, but still he or she is in the subtle level of death. At that moment, we don't have an ability to remember the subtle mind. We don't have an ability to see the subtle mind. We don't have an ability to use the subtle mind. So if you're able to use it, the subtle mind, if you're able to use it, if you're able to transform the subtle mind as an awareness of emptiness, this will become very powerful. Very, very powerful. The subtle mind can, when the subtle mind aware the emptiness, it can destroy all the negative emotions very easily. It is the root of the, everything. That's when you are, shaking from the root, not shaking from the branch. So that's why Tantrayana path is very quicker way and very easy way. Even though if you despise your guru, how doesn't matter, how much you practice the Tantrayana, you're not going to achieve the highest start of, not going to achieve the highest start, Tantrayana. you will not develop the fresh qualities you have not already developed, and those you have will degenerate. So shall we stop here? Right? You have a time? Okay. So before we start the class, we should have some kind of question answer time. If not, just everybody remember what I said about the advantages of the guru, rely on a guru, and disadvantages of not rely on the guru. Just remember and reflect. Anybody has any question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Advantage number 2. When we develop angry thoughts towards our guru, we will destroy your root memories and be reborn in hell for the same number of years as a global commander.
Yeah.
Can this grave sin be purified through practices like the 35 Buddha or through the 4 powers?
Can you repeat again?
Can this hideous crime sin be purified through 35 Buddha practice or the 4 powers?
Yes. Because he's mentioned, if you have a disparage about your guru, if the guru is still alive, you must do the confession in front of the guru. If the guru passed away, not more alive, you must do the confession in front of the guru's object, clothes and so and so. You must do the confession about rely on the guru or the object. Because I hope you remember, we talk about the 4 powers. Within the 4 power of object, right? Power of object has a 2. One is on the merit field is the power of object. Second, said if you fall on the ground, you remember the analogy? When you fall on the ground, you must get up, rely on the ground. So you fall on ground, you must get up, rely on the ground. That means when you accumulate, negative karma towards Mr. A, you must purify the negative karma, rely on the Mr. A. That means when you accumulate negative karma towards your guru, you must purify the negative karma, rely on your guru. So it's mentioned, 2 things. You can purify just guru. If the guru is passed away, you must purify the karma, object of the gurus. And also there's not any kind of, negative karma which is not we not able to purify. Yes, we can purify any kind of negative karma. It doesn't matter how powerful it is. One reason, we said, all the conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Is able to change, is able to transform. And so negative karma also we accumulate in the past, also we accumulate this life, also be able to purify, because the negative karma is impermanent. Be able to change. And also please everybody keep in your mind, sometimes you say when you have a lot of difficulty, you should think, yes, this is my karma. You should not think this way. When you have a difficulties, one should think it is the result of my karma. And something just very easy to accept because, it's my karma, I have to experience, right? You say, it's my karma, I have to experience. Yeah, it's my karma, I have to go through. If you really think this is my karma, then why not you should think, yeah, this is my karma, due to my karma, I am experiencing suffering, I must purify that karma. Because the karma and sin is the big different meaning. According to Christian tradition, sin is kind of the innate, right? Someone born with a sin. And as a Buddhist, we say someone born with a sin. We never say someone born with the happiness, someone born with the suffering. But someone born, with the negative karma or the positive karma. Yes, there is not any negative karma. You cannot purify through the 4 power practice. Yes, that's why the Kadamba practitioner said, one of the practitioners said, negative karma has only one good qualities, which is be able to purify. These are the only good qualities. Otherwise, it doesn't have any good qualities. Okay, so we stop here for the Lamrim class. So today is our last class for the Lamrim. Next we will start after Chinese New Year. Yes? Any question? No?
One more question.
Okay.
This time you were mentioning about the southern continent, right?
Mhm.
Southern continent, which is actually, we are in the southern continent, right?
Yeah.
So is it referring to just Earth, or is the galaxy that Earth is in, or?
Oh. Buddha mentioned Chevatagya. I don't know how to put, I don't put in the number. Chevatagya. Cheva is 1 million. Chevatagya. 100 millions southern continents. 100 millions. That means all the galaxy still I think include into the southern continents. Also I think that's not only that, I think the nine planets I think include into the southern continents. Because since until now, nobody able to see the northern continents. Because when they use the very powerful kind of machine or microscope, they able to see the 9 planets farther a little bit, but we even do not able to see the northern continents. And also, I think very interesting thing this way. If we're talking about the size of the universe, it's so difficult to say the size of the universe because there's one universe which is a common for everybody. There's another universe because the very individual universe. You have your own universe, I have my own universe. There's in all sentient being has their individual universe. This means the universe, the southern continent is not kind of the limit, is unlimited. And also, just everybody is just look at the Buddha statue. Everybody think yes, everybody is seeing same statue. No delay. Because somebody wear glasses, this has a different image. Somebody doesn't wear glasses, it doesn't. Somebody stay closer, it's a different image. Somebody stay far away, it has a different image. It's so difficult to say. If everybody can see exactly same. Never. Also, when we sit here, everybody feels so nice, cool. If we ask individually, somebody says, I'm very so cold. Somebody says, I'm cold. Somebody says, I'm okay. Somebody says, I'm happy. But generally, it is roughly say, yes, that such is this and that. If you go in more precisely, you cannot tell the size and the numbers. Yeah. And also, yes, we're going to do the dedication. One time doctor is very serious in the hospital. So please, everybody dedicate the merit for her to recover from the illness. I think she is a very serious condition. So this is the impermanent. Day before she was totally okay, perfect. Suddenly is having something. Now it's very critical condition. So please, everybody dedicate for her. And also.
Sorry.
Yep.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
So from now till Chinese New Year, before our next lesson start, right? What can we do to practice in this moment?
Study practice.
So yes, I think everybody will be very busy before Chinese New Year, after Chinese New Year. If you could, everybody must read, from the chapter 1 all the way to the Chapter 8, we are in the kind of day 8. Everybody read as much as you can, and everybody try to make a summarize. Each day, make a summary. And I really wish, but I just wish I thought I can read. I really want to make a kind of summary of the Lamrim. So I know actually how to do it, but I don't know I can do it or not. It's good to do. So everybody, read more about the Lamrim, this Lamrim as well as the great Lamrim, and also read furthermore. This I will give you suggestion. And also, the last time someone mentioned, every Saturday or Sunday, or everybody can come together, discuss, talk together, discuss. If you have a doubt, give a note, and you can try to find the answer from the books. If you don't, then maybe I will try to answer. If I could, maybe it's not necessary. And do some kind of discuss, maybe 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, do kind of meditation. Okay, and when you have a discuss about Lamrim, of course you're going to have a lot of debates, a lot of arguments. When you have a debate, when you have an argument, you should not think this kind of, you should not take serious. Okay, because I know someday when you have a discuss, everybody, each of just have a kind of little bit sense of ego or sense of.
It shouldn't be an argument, just be a discussion.
Discuss.
It's a debate, not argument. No arguing.
Yeah.
Just debate.
In debates, after debate, you're going to be arguing. Yes, you can have a kind of discuss and you just make what is good for you. Yeah.